What do you think it is about this iCarly revival that really resonates with fans and keeps them wanting more of this story?
I think the thing about the revival that makes fans really excited and like wanting to watch the show is that we think about them. Like, hey y'all, we thinking about y'all out there. We are, we swear. And the storylines, they serve the fans. We're letting the fans see things that they've always wanted to see. And I feel like they see us growing up with them. Like, we all grew up together, and now we're goofy, but we're adults, goofy adults. And it's fun. I think the fans are going to get a load of, they're going to have a good time this season.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a season. Truly, I feel like as we're texting each other, you know, trying to figure out the creative for how to move forward and stuff, half of what we say is, what do we think the fans would want? You know, it's a very, very real part of the conversation, and it's unabashed fan service, because they're the ones who put us where we are, and they're the ones who are watching it and loving it and giving us feedback, so why on earth would we not do it for them? So I think between that and the fact that the model of the show is a little bit different, because it wasn't really a reboot in the sense of what most reboots are. It's a continuation of an old story where you are genuinely asking the question, what happens in real time to these characters 10 years later? And nobody has really done that, as far as I'm aware. So we kind of hit a new tone, and we had a lot of flexibility with that, and backed up with the motivation of really trying to do this for the fans. I think that's what's resonated.
You know, the fans, they're constantly rooting for Eddie and Creddie, shipping Creddie, you know, Carly and Eddie. What can you tease about this relationship after you've already gone through a couple of failed relationships, divorces?
Only a couple.
A couple at, wow, what are you supposed to be in the show? 26, 27?
Something like that.
2 divorces under your belt.
But it's love, you know? You just can't stop love and impetuous decisions. And then sometimes you deal with the consequences of them and you fall flat on your face. But I think that's one of the cool things about this show was we didn't really sugarcoat these characters. You know, we're seeing them in very real places in their lives, and I think that was really fun. I do think as far as Carly and Freddie's relationship, as it progresses in this season, we have no choice but to face what happened at the end of the second season, where they have to deal with the fact that someone is calling out that Carly and Freddie are in love with each other. And we've kind of gotten by with some of the will they, won't they over the last, 15 years, but you can't just gloss over that. So this is the season where they have to answer that question, will they or won't they? And there are big ramifications to that across the friend group and in their relationship, and there's a lot of fear and reticence, and it's choppy. It's not perfect, but I think it is going to be very satisfactory for the audience. I think there's a lot there.
Jerry, I'm curious.
Yes.
When it comes to your relationship, because Carly and Spencer's relationship is fun to watch.
Yeah.
This kooky, wacky older brother. I mean, you're the most sound one, if you will, on the show. I recognize, this older.
Thank you. Finally, somebody gets me.
I feel seen when I watch you come on.
I feel
the
seen.
Scene. So with that being said, I want you to take me behind the scenes, and I want you to give me some anecdotes. I feel like you and Miranda actually have a good brother-sister relationship. Is that the case?
It
and
is
if so,
the case.
give us some examples.
It is the case. She couldn't be here today because she's shooting something in Thailand right now.
Working actor.
Oh, right. What is that?
But we still are corresponding constantly, and I have to hear her complaining about dudes, and I never thought I'd be here, but it's a real honor to be her older brother and listen to her horrible stories.
They are horrible.
This makes me really excited. What's the best piece of advice that you've given little sister when it comes to those dudes?
It's non-stop advice. It's non-stop, and she never takes it, and she always should. Here's the problem. She can't be here to defend herself. So.
Right. Yeah. So
I can't go over the coals.
I have to step
But
it up.
I will say, man, Spencer is an idiot.
You said it.
I'm a genius. but she doesn't listen, and she doesn't believe that I am. So.
That is so cute to hear. Jaidyn, congratulations and welcome. Welcome to the iCarly franchise. I know you and Laci are popping in, jumping in. I want you to take me behind the scenes. Were they really welcoming? What type of advice did they give you? Were you nervous? Give us something that you think may shock fans to know about the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Of the iCarly
And
set.
remember, we're right here.
Even though I'm whispering to you like it's just you and I.
So,
So when I first got on the set, I was, of course, extremely nervous. It was my first sitcom, and it was my first series regular role. But as soon as I stepped on set and I saw, Spencer's apartment, that was the first set that I saw, I immediately knew, like, this was gonna be a very, how do I say, like, a comforting place to work. And then I met, Jerry, Laci, Miranda, Nathan, everyone, and it was just, like, it was so overwhelming because everyone was so welcoming, and I always felt so comfortable on set. Of course, we do, Jerry would always put my phone, because he's 6'3", so he would always put my phone.
Requires us to say that.
It is. They're contractually obligated.
It's in his rider.
He's 6'3".
To let every interview
Got it.
know how tall I am.
6'3", got it. All right.
But he would always hide my phone and stuff, and it's all just very fun and goofy. I feel like we have the same relationship in real life as we do on the show.
I feel like Carly's character in season 3, she's doing anything she can to remain relevant to, this popular internet persona. Be honest with me, because I feel like after 2020, everyone is just about vulnerability and honesty. Have you all ever felt like in your careers that you needed to do something to stay relevant and be popular and be seen and be visible in order to book gigs?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we work in entertainment, and I remember I saw a quote from Zendaya where she was talking about how she would get with her stylist and show up at carpets, and sometimes she wasn't even invited to the stuff, and she would look amazing and she would get pressed. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna do that too. So I hired publicists, and I was showing up to carpets, and honey, there's a Ralph Lauren polo photo of me that looked insane. I wore like a pinata dress, and my arms are really oily, and it was not the vibe. And
The wallpaper on my phone.
then I realized I'm not Zendaya, and that's okay. I'm gonna stay on Laci Mosley's lane and do Laci. Yes.
I like that. Did anyone else feel like they ever had to go through something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's where we are. Everything is just, can you trend? Are you viral enough? Can you do something to make people focus? Like, there's so many distractions. There's so many other places where people could put their focus. You have to do something to bring the focus to you. So, yeah, I definitely think that there's that pressure, but I'm way too boring to do any of that, so here I am.
Same.
All of you now have this amazing glow up, and I know I've just been introduced to you two, but there's a glow up, obviously, from the show. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Miranda's glow up? I don't know if you guys saw that, that it was she was wearing all pink. It was like a Kim Kardashian inspired look.
Yes.
And we were like, oh my gosh. So what do you all think about her glow up as executive producer, actor with this show?
I think she's a private person, and she plays things very close to the vest. And I think watching her mature and watching her take charge and really guide the tone of the show and her character, I have a sense of pride, being her older bro, watching her do it and being a part of it and helping her, with being a confidant with her. But she's killing it. She's crushing it.
We're so damn proud. A couple more quick questions for you all. Obviously, the memoir that came out with Jennette McCurdy. I want to ask you all about that. Have you spoken with her since the memoir came out? Can you empathize with her? And what is the vibe on set to make sure no one else ever feels that way? Because clearly she did battle things from her younger years, but do y'all talk about that? Or do you talk to her?
I did talk to her. I read it immediately and I talked with her, and it's heartbreaking, but it's also brilliant and funny, and I felt a lot of pride for her being able to speak her truth, and I talked with her about it, and I said exactly that. I was like, because it's heartbreaking, but she's very strong and very perceptive, and you can see it in the writing how smart she is, and that's stuff she's going to deal with for her whole life. But she's amazing. I mean, her book tour, she's using it, and she's growing stronger because of it.
Jerry, I appreciate you even answering that, and again, hopefully you all feel just fine, but those are questions that we have as people, as fans of the show who follow the show. My last quick one is EmRata. In 2010, I know she did a cameo. Any big cameos we can look forward to as fans? And do you remember her coming onto the show? She played Tasha in 2010.
Emily Radic. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize her EmRata.
We shipped the names together.
Yeah,
it's that entertainment thing.
Sorry.
Do y'all remember her being on the show?
Oh, yeah.
I do, yeah.
Any anecdotes at all of that really quickly?
It was just hilarious. Her and Gibby.
Yeah,
We would all just be like, wait, you two together? What? How is this even working?
But it worked. I'll be darned. and it worked.
I heard she wants to come back on the show.
Really?
Really?
Well,
That's what I heard. I heard she mentioned it something on her podcast. It's just what I heard. It's just what I heard.
Really? So she just started. Should she be welcome with welcome arms?
Of course.
oh,
yes.
absolutely. Are you kidding?
Please.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we do this season, there's a something of a reunion episode with characters from the old Ridgeway High. So we were able to bring back some people that we saw, a good 10, 15 years ago and see where they are now. So a little bit of nostalgia there. But yeah, I think the main thrust is, kind of the Carly and Freddie relationship. But we can't do a season of iCarly without bringing back some folks from the olden days.
Yeah.